Hey guys, it's me, Deminator What If, with part 12 to What If Ichigo is sent back in time. I was busy today. Took me way too long to start making this video, and it's probably going to take ages for me to upload it, so this is probably going to end up being like 1 AM in the morning or something like this ends up getting uploaded. Even though I started at 11, so whatever. But yeah. I want to say that this is going to be decently long, but from the kind of the semi-script I've got, it seems like it's going to be kind of short, so, I mean, don't hate me for that. And one last thing is that, I see that a lot of you have been liking What If Ichigo was in the Genshin Impact, so I might do a bit more on that, because, you know, it's getting more, it's getting more views than this and more comments already. Like, for fuck's sake, the last update of this that I uploaded had 1 like. The first What If Izuku was in Genshin Impact got 8 likes within the first 2 days, so I'm kind of annoyed. At the same time, you know, I'm happy about that. Anyway, so I'll get straight into the What If. So part 11 basically was Ichigo just dunking, absolutely destroying, it was revolting. But he had completely destroyed the 7th, 6th, 4th, 3rd, and 1st espadas, as well as the ex-captain. After destroying them, he just walked off looking for Aizen again. That's basically what happened. This was kind of like an entire arc summary in a way. But, you know, Ichigo is just too good. He's just superior. He's a superior breed. I've already spent 2 minutes on this intro, so I'm just going to get straight in there. Ichigo slowly enters a pitch black room, completely shadowed on all sides, with now greyed walls, which obviously were made from the same white materials as the outsides of the building. Within the center, there is no furniture, nothing. There is purely a figure sitting on the floor, 1 knee up, swordsman style. He slowly moves with the shadow figure slowly moves with white hair coming into appearance, and this is obviously Gin. So Ichigo just continues walking up to Gin, and they begin talking. Ichigo begins saying, "Gin, I understand what you've done all this for. I understand why you follow Aizen." Gin's eyes slightly widen, you know, they slightly open on a very minor scale. While Ichigo continues, "I understand you do this all for... I know this was all for Matsumoto Rangiku, who, from a young age, you had grown to see as a sister." Quick note, I don't remember if they got in a relationship or not before he died, so just anyway, continuing. Gin's eyes continue to widen. Ichigo further continuing. "I understand that Aizen had done something to her once, maybe hitting her to the ground, attacking her in some sort of way, and I understand that you had done this all just to get that sweet revenge of finally killing him, and your hatred for him has festered over the century. Gin begins to have a flashback. We see a young boy with white hair closed slit-like eyes and a small smile over his face, offering a young girl with orange hair a persimmon, I believe. Yeah, some dried persimmon. He told the boy telling her that if she had the ability to collapse due to hunger, she probably has spiritual energy. She probably has a Ryatsu. The orange girl eventually thinking similarly and thinking that he probably has spiritual energy if he knows so much, especially since he had been carrying dried persimmon on himself. Gin then fuck. I was supposed to be I fucked that up. Oh well. The white-haired boy introduced himself as Gin Ichimaru. The girl commented on how strange his last name was, but still, continuing on. After this meeting, both Gin and the orange-haired girl began living together, and during this time together, eventually it would lead up to the point where Gin and the girl, who, you know, he eventually knew, whose name was Rangiku, Gin would be... Okay. I am really slow on the way I'm saying this. I do apologise, but yeah. So, on the way back from gathering firewood in the forest, you know, for himself and Rangiku, Gin encountered a brown-haired man, obviously being Aizen. Aizen had been along with 3 other Shinigami, and Aizen had taken out a ball of pink energy from another of the Shinigami's hands, and had put it in a glass that contained what would later be found to be the Hogyoku, a black, strange shape that I do not know what it is. But yeah. Of course, Gin had continued, after spying on these people and after they had been gone, Gin had found Rangiku collapsed on the floor. Now, he obviously connected the dots, realizing that the pink energy was likely from her, and seeing that, you know, of course, Aizen was in control of that situation, Gin resolved himself to kill Aizen. That is the end of Gin's flashback. Gin closes his eyes again and simply gives a faint smile, more real than most of the ones he has given for years now. And he says he appreciates the sincere thoughts, but he still has to fight. Ichigo simply nods and steps back, saying, I understand. And then he shimpos forwards before Gin can even realize it, although he still has a smirk on his face to the very end, and Ichigo kicks him extremely hard to the point where he just goes flying into the nearest wall and creates an impact there. After this, Ichigo just continues walking through the pathway as he would have done if Gin hadn't been there. But by this point, he knew already, but you know, he started to look. By this point, he realized Aizen was long gone. After about an hour of searching physically and using the soul ribbon technique, he found no traces of Aizen anymore. Of course, this led him to believe Aizen was gone. He then opens himself up a Senkaimon. Using a Senkaimon, Ichigo... Sorry, I cut off there for a second. Using a Senkai 1, Ichigo went back to the human world. Just walking down the street with drops of rain pouring around him as he was slowly soaked. Now, however, in more casual clothes. But yeah. He eventually got back to Kisuke Orihara's home slash shop, where, although it was open, he would just, and I had no one inside for now, he just opened up the door, closed it behind him, locked up, putting the keys in a bowl behind the counter, and going up to his room, where he just sat down, covering him, sat down on his bed, putting his hands around his face and just covering his face for a few minutes, until he told himself that tomorrow he's going to train the others. He's going to train Chad, Uryu, and Orihime, whether they like it or not. So yeah. The night passes and Ichigo sends out a message to Chad, Uryu, and Orihime, although he does notice that he has about 8 missed calls from Orihime, 2 from Uryu, and 3 from Chad. But yeah, he still texts them. It says, meet me at ... No, wait, sure, no. Meet me at Orihara's place. Meet me at the Kusuke Orihara candy shop. And, fuck. No, isn't it called... Sorry, my bad. My bad. The Hats and Clogs candy shop. Like the next, like at 12 p.m. or like 1 p.m. or something. A few hours pass and he's already prepared. He's in his gear, and he's prepared the equipment he's got to use for their training. And as they arrive, Orihime starts asking questions. Uryu, is just looking at Ichigo. Same with Chad, to be honest, who just asked Ichigo where he was. And Ichigo just keeps his frown on his face, not changing expression, and just says, "Follow me." This stops Orihime from talking, and Uryu and Chad kind of straighten their backs just a little bit more. And they follow Ichigo, who leads them to the trapdoor and to the underground training center, which he just drops down and hits the ground. Doesn't bother using the ladder. But yeah. And yeah, with that, they start training. So the sort of training that would be done would be with Orihime. This, by the way, the training that is being done is very similar to, if you've watched Assassination Classroom, how Kuro-sensei teaches, where, he's kind of like moving so fast that it looks like he's in all places at once. That's basically what's happening here. Ichigo is with all of them at the same time, moving between them so fast that it just looks like he's standing and just teaching them normally. But yeah, so what he does with Orihime is he encourages her to attack, just in case she has any difficulty still there. Other than that, he of course just tells her to use all of her abilities as quickly as possible at the same time, that sort of thing. While also thinking of telling her to just come teach, basically helping her with coming up with different ideas to use them. On the other hand, with Uryu, he just shows him how he uses his bow, and explains how he could transfer that over. including a little bit of how he uses his Bankai, which, I don't really want to spoil fully, but, it's kind of obvious. But basically, he just tells Uryu he could try and replicate some of his Bankai abilities and Shikai abilities, for example, where he blows up his arrows, which would lead to Uryu developing some different bows and arrows and Quincy techniques. He as well as this, he does tell Ishida about Uryu. That's another name for Uryu if you don't know. But he basically just tells Uryu to see if he can find a way to form his Ryatsu into a blade, or to transform his bow into a blade, just in case he does need to go into close quarters at some point. On the other hand, with Chad, Ichigo doesn't talk to him, Chad doesn't talk to him, and all they do is just they exchange blows, they punch each other's fists, It's kind of just durability and strength training, It's just, some CQC, some close quarters combat. So yeah, time passes like this. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow I will probably post another what if Izuku was in Genshin Impact, if you want that. But if you want me, of course, just to help my self-esteem and to encourage me to make more of these videos on time, maybe subscribe if you want. I don't really need that, to be honest, but it'd be cool. Just in case you want to see more videos, like this, when I upload more videos. But yeah, comment as well, because when I see more comments on a video, it makes me think I've done something good. Like some of the other chapters of this had like fucking 44. Jesus Christ, you guys suck at putting comments on my videos. But yeah, yeah. Have a lovely evening, afternoon, morning, day, whatever time zone you're in, whenever you're seeing this. Just have a good one. See ya.